Hey guys, VO2 max is a measure of the maximal volume of oxygen your body can use, and it is a good indicator of cardiovascular fitness. A true VO2 max test is conducted in a lab and involves exercising to failure while wearing a mask. However, there are simple tests that can provide an estimate of your VO2 max. I've previously covered the Queen's College Step Test and the Rockport Walking Test. Both of those are sub-maximal tests, and one common option for a maximal test is the Bleep Test. The Bleep Test, also called the Beep Test or multi-stage fitness test, was developed in the 80s as a way to estimate VO2 max. The test will be familiar to many of you who completed it during exercise classes at school. Two sets of cones are set up 20 meters apart, and an audio is played with a series of beeps. The goal is to cover the 20 meters before the next beep sounds, and as the test progresses, the beeps get closer together. Level 1 is the equivalent of running at 8 kilometers an hour. Each level is half a kilometer an hour faster, and there are between 7 and 16 shuttles on each level. To set up the test, you will need some way of measuring and marking out 20 meters, as well as the ability to play the audio, which can be found in the description below. After a thorough warm-up, start the audio and take your position at one end of the shuttle. I would suggest either placing the audio halfway between the cones, or if convenient, carrying it with you as you run. At the first beep, make your way across to the other end of the shuttle area. Your goal is to touch your foot at the other end before the next beep. There's no need to run beyond the line. As each new level is announced, the time between the beeps will reduce. It can take some getting used to, so you are allowed to miss one beep, but not two in a row. Once you are no longer fast enough to reach the cones, you have completed the test. Make sure you remember the final level and shuttle you managed to reach. For example, if I reached the line for level 9, shuttle 11, but did not reach the next line, I would enter level 9, shuttle 11 into the formula here to produce an estimated VO2 max of 46.57. One important point to remember is that a maximal test like this requires a high degree of motivation. It's worth making sure you are confident about completing it to the best of your ability. For certain individuals, maximal effort exercise testing may not be suitable. Your body is going to be under a lot of physical strain, potentially aggravating any pre-existing health conditions. Anyone with any cardiovascular conditions, high blood pressure, orthopedic issues, severe respiratory conditions like asthma, anyone currently pregnant or experiencing any cold or flu symptoms at the time of the test should be especially careful. More generally, it's worth speaking to a doctor if you're in any doubt whether this protocol is safe for you to do. The level and shuttle you reach can be converted into an estimated VO2 max, and I've added some example VO2 max scores here. Your results are best compared to others of the same age and sex. For men, an elite VO2 max would be around 60 milliliters per kilo per minute in their 20s, down to 40 once they reach the age of 60. The average male is around 47 in their 20s and 28 in their 60s. For women, an elite VO2 max would be around 50 in their 20s, down to 27 in their 60s. The average female is around 37 milliliters per kilo per minute in their 20s and 18 in their 60s. Note that activities of daily living become compromised once an individual falls below 20 milliliters per kilo per minute. At the top end, elite athletes average 55 to 65, with endurance specialists able to reach 75 and above. Cross-country skiers are often known as the athletes who score the highest, with some managing to score above 90. VO2 max typically declines by 1% per year beyond the age of 30, so even if you maintain your activity levels, you will see a decline with age. However, unless you have reached your genetic potential, there will be room to improve at any age. As an example, my VO2 max in my late 30s is around 55, which is higher than any point in my 20s. Thanks for watching.